Audio and sound effects in this video were created using audio.com. Use the link in the description to get 10% off.
Hello everybody, welcome to Filmmaking Today. Bojan Dulabic here. So, are you looking for an affordable but pretty good tiny lens? Stay tuned.
This is the TTartisan 25mm f2 manual focus lens. This is a tiny pancake lens that's available in various mounts such as Sony E, Fujifilm X, Nikon Z, Canon RF, Leica L, and Micro Four Thirds. Now let's take a look at the hardware.
Alright, so let's take a look at the hardware. I usually use this lens with my X-T30, so this is what it looks like. Right here, you've got the front lens cap, which is a screw-on cap. You have to unscrew it. Now, I don't use this one. I have just a generic one, a snap-on one that I use on here because I find this really tedious and annoying. But it's sturdy quality and all, but doesn't really work for me. So if we take a look at it, and if we take a look at the profile, this is what it looks like. It's very it's a small lens, right? It doesn't really extrude too much, which is good. You've got two rings here. So the first one here is the aperture ring, and it goes from 2, 2.5, I guess, 2.8, 4, 5.6, 8, and then 16. This doesn't have f-stop 11, so there's nothing in between 8 and 16. I personally haven't really found that to be an issue, but something to keep in mind, it might bother you. The second one is obviously for focus. It goes from infinity and then all the way down to 0.25 meters, which is pretty nice. And obviously this is a manual lens, so there's no autofocus here. And that's it. I mean, it's very small. Here, I'll take it off so you can have a better idea. I mean, this is what it looks like. Here's the aperture blade. Yeah, very nice, simple little lens.
Now let's take a look at the sharpness. So here we are 400% zoomed in, wide open at f-stop 2, and it's definitely a bit blurry, but it gets better once you're at 2.5, and then once you're at 2.8, it's actually not bad at all, and it stays basically the same all across, which is really good. For this type of lens, I'm pretty happy with the center sharpness. Now, once we go to the corners, now that's a different story. So wide open, it is really blurry, as you can see right here. And even when we step down to 2.5, it's still pretty blurry. And the 2.8, it gets a little bit better. Once you get to f-stop 4, it's significantly better. And then 5.6, it basically, that's usable for this lens anyway, and it stays the same until 16. Now let's take a look at some images and video taken with this lens.
All right, guys, so let's talk about this little lens right here. First of all, it's really tiny. I love that. As you can tell, as you saw in the video, it's a really nice compact lens. However, it does weigh. There's a certain weight to it, which, you know, some might not like, others won't care. You know, that just depends on you know, your personal preference. I personally do enjoy that it does weigh something, because this is, I mean, this feels like real metal, man, which I love. So to me, that's a good thing. Build quality is awesome, excellent, works for me. One thing you're going to hear from people is vignetting, so wide open, and as you saw in the test, there's definitely vignetting. Wide open in the corners, it's definitely vignetting, no doubt about that. However, what I've noticed, and I don't know if it's the filters that I'm using, the film simulations that I'm using on my Fuji X-T30 Mark II, or not, but I really didn't seem to notice that much vignetting when I was taking the photos that I showed you. Now, obviously, it's there. When I did the lens test, it's there. I'm not saying it's not there, but it's just when I was doing, you know, all those photos, I didn't really seem to notice it. It wasn't really bothering me. So something to keep in mind. Maybe it's the film simulations that just add certain, I don't know, thing to it. I don't know. If you've noticed that too, please let me know in the comments, because I'm actually really curious about that. Because obviously the vignetting is there, but it's just when I was taking all those photos, I didn't notice it. For video, I also hardly noticed it. Now, obviously for video, it's not going to use the full sensor, so it's going to not crop in, but you know, the top and the bottom will be not seen, basically. So it wasn't an issue. Now, a lot of the shots that I took were like 5.6 or f8, so at that point, you're not going to notice the difference anyway. But even when I stopped down, I didn't really notice too much of it. So like I said, it is there, but maybe it depends on the camera. Obviously on the crop factor, I mean, that does play into it. So something to keep in mind. I can only give my experience using a Fuji system. And with a Fuji system, this is a pretty good option. Obviously, it's a manual lens, so it's not going to give you autofocus. If you want that, they do have the autofocus one, which is, I think, about $100 more, which is also not that bad, and I will get it at some point. But if you don't mind the manual focus nature of it, this is a great choice. Again, I'm only talking about the Fuji system. I can't talk to other systems. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's a great choice for street photography and even for video. If you don't mind pulling focus manually, that's a pretty cool choice for video, right? Obviously, it's not going to be my main lens for video by any means, but if you just want to have fun, if you don't want to haul a big lens with you, this will do the job. So that's it, guys. If you got any questions, as always, let me know in the comments section. If you're interested in this lens, check the links. They'll be in the description as well. So that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, and all that good stuff, and stay tuned for more. Thanks.
Color grading and film emulation in this video was done using Enhancer Pro. Use promo code FILMMAKING today and get 10% off any of their software. See link in the description.